There are tons of business podcasts to choose from, but only one has the stamp of approval. Kristin Stampini is South Florida's leading real estate entrepreneur and your trusted source for everything real estate.
Okay, hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited about our podcast. The Stamp of Approval is the name of it. And actually, my brother, Matt Anderson, who I have here today, is the one who gave us that name. So thank you, Matt.
Shout out, what?
So I'm Kristin Stampini, co-founder of the Stampini Platinum Real Estate Group with RE/MAX Services here in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm also a certified real estate coach for Craig Proctor, and you may have also heard us on the radio. I'm the owner of Global Virtual Real Estate Assistants. I'm also a real estate investor and a national trainer and public speaker, an author of a couple books, and also a certified inside sales agent, trainer, and coach. So my guest here today, and if you listened to our previous episode, this is the second time I brought Matt here because he's so good and so inspirational and such an amazing person at social media. The last episode we talked to Matt about was Facebook, where it is today. I mean, Matt was spending on upwards of $40,000 per day and 50% in social media, marketing. And 50% of that was, basically on Facebook. So imagine 20,000 or 25,000 a day in Facebook marketing. So you're talking about an expert here. So Matt is, a former senior social strategist for billion-dollar brands. Wow, such as Dr. Pepper, one of the biggest telecom networks in the U.S., Metro PCS, which is owned by T-Mobile, also CPG soft drinks giant. He helps strategize marketing budgets on social media and companies, like I said, for up to $40,000 a day. And about, like I said, 50% of that was going towards Facebook that we talked about on the previous episode. He also performs social media for Ram Trucks, Tony and Guy. Remember Tony and Guy? Papa John's and over 20 other businesses. So Matt currently, he's a talent manager at Bottle Rocket Management, where he's out in California, so that's where he is today, and he manages brand sponsorships and campaigns for over 25 YouTube creators. Like, what is that, YouTube creator? Whose followings, of the YouTube creators is nearly 100 million plus subscribers worldwide. So I was watching one of the people that he works with, and she was talking about, I was just showing a little bit of my life out there on YouTube, and all of a sudden I have 1.5 million followers. So and that's basically what Matt does, is he builds companies. So today he's really going to be discussing social media, where Instagram is at, what he thinks about Snapchat, and YouTube. Where are we headed with YouTube? So introducing Matt as our social media guru. And hey, Matt, how are you?
Hey, wow, again, that intro is second to none. I will tell you that.
Well, you definitely deserve that intro, for everything you do. I've really, Matt is my little brother, but, I really look up. He's very inspirational in the social media field and everything else. And I wish I had, even a little bit of what he does in me, But, so Matt, can you kind of go into Instagram's the thing today, isn't it?
Yeah, the crazy thing is, when I started out about 7 years ago, Instagram was only 6 months old. No one had really heard of it, and it was just where you could share some of your more creative or inspirational pictures. Now, fast forward 7 years, Facebook now owns Instagram, and it's the second most viewed social platform on social media. So, Instagram is definitely one of the kings today, if not the king. And, I really see nothing but positive things in Instagram's future. It was really Instagram and Snapchat for a while, and there was a debate going back and forth. Is Snapchat going to, cannibalize Instagram's followers, or are people going to, go more towards Snapchat than Instagram? Well, if they've done studies, and I've actually just go talk to people, and, Snapchat is still, a very popular platform, obviously, and for Gen Z, it's especially a popular platform, but not for the reasons you may think. Snapchat, I have mixed feelings for Snapchat, and I know if you look online, different forecasters will tell you, oh, Snapchat's definitely going to be the future because of Gen Z, but I actually don't think that. I think, one, Snapchat has made some, poor business decisions when it comes to getting in the hardware game. They had some $40, $50 million hits that didn't work out for them. But also, while Gen Z use Snapchat a lot, they don't use it for the reason you think. They use it to text message each other. I've talked to many kids between 10 and 13, and I've read studies that show that kids use Snapchat messaging more than they use their actual phone's messaging.
Really?
So they just use it as a texting platform, but not necessarily as a content platform. They still use Instagram as their main content platform. And why is that? Well, probably because Instagram literally copied everything that Snapchat had and made it better.
That's true.
There's no laws that said they couldn't, or no copyright. So, you have Instagram stories now. You have Instagram Live. You have IGTV. Instagram is pretty much, they took what they had and made it better. They took what Snapchat had and made it better. And now they just keep building on it. So, they have, some people are like, well, what's Instagram stories? What's Instagram Live? What's IGTV? So to break it down, Instagram's main focus is a feed that shares photos and videos. Then you have Instagram stories that are, up top when you're looking at the platform. And that's just a 24-hour glimpse. So you don't want to necessarily post everything you capture throughout your day on your Instagram feed, because typically you want to curate a kind of well-rounded, nice feed. But if you have stuff throughout the day that's happening, Instagram stories is where you put it, because it only lasts for 24 hours. Now, Instagram Live, that's something where maybe you're speaking at a conference or you're going to an event and you want people to experience what you're experiencing in a moment. That's where that goes. And then IGTV is just, maybe you have a few video clips of 1 minute to 2 minutes and you just want to get it out there, but you want it to last a little longer than your Instagram stories. That's a perfect place for, kind of more evergreen content to live on the platform.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions there. So basically, the stories, right? The stories are like Snapchat. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, it lasts 24 hours. And then
okay, so that's exactly what Snapchat does, right? And then the Live is like Facebook Live. Is that correct?
Correct.
So it's just all like combined in Instagram.
Yeah, it's pretty much all rolled into one on Instagram. Instagram is actually my personal favorite platform. I know different people have different, favorites, but Instagram is pretty much my go-to platform on social. So
you millennials, which you are, and the Gen Z, is that where they're going?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, a lot of people, I kind of touched on it in our previous episode, but a lot of people are starting to get away from Facebook. Now, I also said I think Facebook is going to be fine because they own Instagram and they own WhatsApp, the largest, messaging platform on earth. But, and they're getting quickly into the hardware game, which a lot of people don't know about yet. But Facebook's going to be fine, I think. But millennials and Gen Z, Gen Z, as I touched on before, they think Facebook's for old people. They don't even care about Facebook. And, millennials are starting to get away from it. The past 3 or 4 years, just because of, kind of the political climate, it's really made Facebook not the platform that it once was. It used to be all about family, friends, sharing those moments. Now it's a lot of, politics, and people, they're trying to go to social media to get away from their everyday issues and struggles and, just the drama in the world. So people are getting more away from Facebook and more into Instagram or more into Snapchat. On Instagram, you can't share articles, news articles or politics. You can post pictures, but it's really a platform that's built for inspiring. It's built for being creative. It's built for sharing, fun and loving, family moments. So it's really the platform where people still go to kind of, just relax from their day. And so it's really the platform that I think a lot of people care about the most. If you look at research studies, it shows too that, Instagram's the second most used platform and, quickly catching up to Facebook. I don't think anybody will catch up to Facebook in terms of growth numbers, but in time spent and engagement, Instagram is definitely the place to go. You still have organic engagement possibilities on Instagram. You have zero of that on Facebook.
So
That's the great thing is,
how many users are on Facebook compared to how many users are on Instagram?
Oh man, I should probably have researched that before this, but I mean, Facebook's definitely, it's hit the billion mark, which is insane if you think about the world. But I mean, Instagram's still, oh man, if I had to guess, I know people are going to fact check me after this, but I'd probably say, I don't know, at least half as many, 50 to 60%, I would say, of the users on Facebook also have Instagram, which is actually the highest when you compare it to how many Facebook users also have a Snapchat or how many Facebook users also have a Twitter. So they definitely, if they have two platforms, Facebook and Instagram is the highest combo. I know that for sure. I just don't know the percentage, but Instagram is really the thing that's great for anybody who has a business, especially realtors too, is if you build a following on Instagram and you put out content, people will still see it. You can still get 5 to 10% engagement on a post that you didn't put money on. On Facebook, try creating a company page. If you have 100 followers, no one is going to see that content. Facebook does, unless Facebook is a pay to play platform. And unless you're putting money behind your Facebook post, no one is seeing it. So I always recommend Instagram to people when they're starting out, because when you start to build those followers, you can actually see a return, and people will still see your content, before you have to spend large amounts of money to get people to see that content.
So let me ask you about followers, because you were just saying that. So previously on our other episode, when we talked more about Facebook, you were saying impressions and things like that are important, and talking about followers, you said not to worry about so much. So is Instagram something that we need to worry about followers?
I mean followers across the board, sure, it's fun to look at, but I care more about engagement than I do followers. I mentioned previously, I would rather have half as many followers but twice the engagement than vice versa.
So how do we get engagement without followers then?
Engagement is all about your content. If you're putting out solid content, you're going to see higher engagement. The best, example I can give you is put up a picture of you holding, a garage sale sign, and then put up a picture of you and a puppy. What do you think is going to get more engagement?
I agree 100%. Puppy.
So it's all about the content.
Or baby or kid, right? Your kids.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. We always used to say it was horrible, but back when it was the Wild West of social, there was a trio that could get engagement. It was cute babies, cute puppies, and cute girls. Those were the three things that got more engagement. And back then, when you could just post whatever content without the FCC coming down, that's honestly what every brand was posting, those three things. But now it's about providing value to your followers. Well, as I mentioned previously, people do not want to be sold all day. I mentioned the 80-20 rule on the previous episode, but my 80-20 rule is 80% of your content should be valuable, inspiring, creative. 20% you can do the hard sell. If you show me 5 posts and 4 of those taught me something or inspired me or gave me, made me feel creative in a way, then that last post you have, I don't mind if you sell me. I don't mind if you put up a listing of, a house you're trying to sell. I don't mind if you're trying to get me to come to your seminar or sell me a book. I don't mind that because you've already provided me value for my life, so I don't mind giving a little back. Now, if 5 of those posts are all listings, I'm probably going to unfollow you pretty quickly because I don't want to be sold all day. No one wants to be sold anything in their lives. So you need to be, given value in order to get that little bit in return of, oh, let me show you this listing, or, oh, sign up for my podcast or daily email or whatever. Well, it's really the thing that's important the most.
Yeah, and one thing that we were talking about on the previous episode is original content, right? So it needs to be original.
Yeah, original content, I always say content is king, but original content is really important, especially on a platform like Instagram. Facebook, you go there and you're expecting to see a video that went viral or a news article from CNN or some video from the Daily News or whatever. You're expecting to see just repurposed content. Instagram, that's not what that platform is built for. That platform is built for original content. So people really want to see new things, whether it's you, talking about a new trend or talking about a new issue that you care about, or something valuable that person can see that post, take away from it, and be like, okay, I actually learned something. You need to be providing valuable content. I can never say it enough, but people want to learn stuff and people want to feel good when they look at your content. People do not want to be sold on every post.
No, and that's a really, really good point, because the 80-20 rule, always giving. Okay, you can't give enough, right? You can't,
Exactly.
The information that you're sharing, the new content. Now, how big are hashtags?
I mean, hashtags, here's my rule on hashtags as well. Every hashtag needs to have two things, a meaning and a purpose. And those things sound similar, but I'll explain. So say, you don't want to put up a picture and just throw on 50 hashtags and pray that, people are going to click on it. You see that all day. People post a picture about them traveling on a vacation, and then they tag all these like hashtag wanderlust, hashtag vacation. You know how many hashtag vacations there are searched in there's millions. You want to, so there's two things that they need to have, a meaning and a purpose. The meaning needs to be, what does this hashtag mean at the end of the day? Are you, is it, Boca Raton Realtor? Is it Boca Raton Houses? Is it, if you're in fashion, is it, Fashion Trends 2018? What is the meaning behind it? What does it mean to your audience? Will they understand why you even posted that? And then the purpose is, what are you trying to get out of that hashtag? So at the end of the day, are you wanting people to search that hashtag to find your listing? Whatever your hashtag is, it needs to be easily accessible to people searching similar hashtags on Instagram. But at the same time, people need to instantly understand what it means to them. So you shouldn't just throw all these random hashtags on. You really need to think about, okay, what do people search for? You can go to Instagram's search tool. This is a great thing to do, by the way. Go and look at, type in, if you're, for your audience who, I guess, a majority are realtors, go to your city and see, type in Los Angeles realtor and then see what other hashtags come up. Kind of do some research and play around. And, I wouldn't want my hashtag to be one that has 1 million searches. I prefer one to have, 30 to 50,000 searches, because it's going to be people that are much more, you want to get real nitty gritty and you want to find people who are really boiling down and targeted. So what you're looking for, not just doing random hashtags that have millions of searches that people will probably never see because everybody's posting those hashtags. That's the thing. If you just type in, hashtag real estate, there's going to be millions of those posts every day. Whereas if you do hashtag real estate, Boca Raton, listing or something, it's probably going to be people who are searching for much greater things that are valuable to you and to your business.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good point right there that you made. So how many hashtags should I use? And what about Facebook and Instagram? I mean, what's the difference as far as hashtags,
Yeah, hashtags on Facebook, people still use them. Hashtags now are, it's like, you even see people on TV, they use it in your daily life, your normal talking to people. When you gave me that intro at the beginning, I was like, hashtag shout out. Because people just use it in their everyday, lives. But so on Facebook, I kind of see it like that. People use hashtags on Facebook, but it's not really a platform where people are searching those hashtags. Obviously the, quote unquote creator of the making a hashtag popular was Twitter, but, it's, on Instagram, it's still something where Instagram has a portion of the platform carved out to hashtags, and Instagram's trying to build up their search capabilities more. They want people browsing content that they don't follow more. So hashtags are definitely important. I would say, when you're talking about quantity, I would say do no more than 2 or 3 on Instagram, because you don't want a flood of 40. One, it just looks spammy. No one, if you have 40 hashtags or 20 hashtags, no one's going to read them all. No one cares about that. And you're just, Instagram's also going to think that you're spamming as well. Instagram their algorithm doesn't like when it thinks people are trying to, gauge the system or trying to, you can put up 200 hashtags. Instagram's not going to, value you for doing that. So I would say 2 to 3 hashtags, maybe one kind of broader one and 2 that are more fine tuned to your exact area or what you're looking for. And I would say that's really all you need. It doesn't, it doesn't have to be, and you don't have to do it on every post. That's the other thing. while it's good because it'll help your content be searchable, you don't want to overdo it with your users. So your followers think every day, oh man, it's just the same hashtag we always see. Like, you need to be new. You need to be fresh, have new creative hashtags. You can also do fun hashtags. They don't all have to be, once again, sell, sell, sell. I would almost do, it doesn't have to be 80-20 rule, but maybe a 50-50 rule. Like, you can do fun hashtags in the copy as much as you do informative ones as well. So it really just depends on what you're trying to accomplish with what I said earlier, the meaning and purpose of the hashtag.
Well, that's a great tip. And so in Instagram, because I want to get to Facebook or to YouTube as well for a few minutes. But so for Instagram, what can we do that's going to, to market, but also, like you said, make sure that you're giving them content and value because they're going to want to engage and follow and things like that. But so what can we do on Instagram? And also, how can we gain business on Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, I think, definitely start. I mean, I think following the 80-20 rule on Instagram, especially in real estate, is key. I have many friends who are realtors, and some post, all they post every day is listings.